Hello everyone, myself Shantanu Kuveskar, and as all the time you all see me running behind birds and other wildlife. But actually, very few people knows that by academics I'm a botany graduate of Mumbai University, and after a long time I'm getting into flora and observing the flowers. This is Karvy, and as you can see this flowering around me, which you will get to observe only once in a decade. Many hilltops around our town and around Raigad fort right now bloomed with these purplish blue flowers. Sahyadri mountain ranges are rich in flora and fauna, having great diversity and history. This year, Karvy flowering happened at so many places in Raigad district and especially around Raigad fort. The Karvy flowers blooms only once in its lifetime, and this mass flowering happens after every 7 years. Karvy grows and blooms mostly atop of hills and on the slopes at elevation of 1000 to 1500 feet. Strobilanthes callosa is the species which blooms after every 7 years. This plant is a shrub growing 2 to 6 meter tall. Every year, the plant comes alive in early monsoon and left dry, completely dead looking with the end of monsoon. This same pattern repeats itself for 7 years, and on the 8th year, the mass flowering happens. These are the buds of Karvy. Some flowers are still there and some flowers drop on the ground. So after finishing the flowering cycle, these birds will go dry and even the plant itself will go dry, completing the life cycle. These birds will remain here dry till the monsoon next year. And as soon as the raindrops touches these dry birds next year, with the loud popping sounds, the seeds will be bursting out and dispersal will happen, scattering the seeds widely. This mass seeding phenomenon is known as masting. Karvy flowers attracts great numbers of honeybees, butterflies, insects and birds, as well as some small mammals also resides in the thick Karvy forest. Karvy's roots helps to reduce soil erosion on hilltops and slopes, as well as some other parasitic plants also grows on the roots of Karvy. Mass flowering of Karvy is always magical, but Karvy is not just known for the beautiful flowering, it also has some medicinal uses. Locally, villagers and Adivasi people use it as a traditional medicinal herb. Juices from the crushed leaves of Karvy was earlier practiced for stomach ailments as well as for inflammatory disorders. But the leaves are actually known to be poisonous. Honey from the season of Karvy flowering is also known to have some medicinal properties, which is rare and much thicker and darker than the regular honey. That's why local honey collectors sell such honey at very high prices in local markets. Dried stems of Karvy do not rot in water, having great durability. So earlier local communities mainly used the dry stems of Karvy for thatch roofing and to build walls of their houses. Nowadays, it is very rare to see such huts or houses in local communities. Karvy isn't a rare plant, it's a weed, but the mass flowering and seeding phenomenon are rare. It is such soothing for eyes to watch this mass flowering, and the experience to be here in within this flowering cannot be explained in words. It has some different kind of magic with purplish blue colored flowers and the habitat around. Thanks for watching. I will be back with more and more documentaries soon. Stay tuned.